Out of here. See you never.
Coming up next.
What should they be doing to make a better man or a better woman?
Our exclusive interview with the Piazza family on their mission to end hazing after the death of their son.
Also coming up, police are asking for your help identifying suspects in 2 local crimes.
And what Penn State is doing to help student veterans on campus and around the state. The Center County Report starts now.
And I'm Talia Torello. Thanks for joining us. It's been almost 3 years since Jim and Evelyn Piazza experienced what no parent should ever have to, losing their 19-year-old son to an alcohol-related death at college. Reporter Samantha Rank recently had a chance to talk with the Piazzas about their effort to honor Tim and help others. Here's her exclusive interview.
Timothy Piazza was rushing the Beta Theta Pi fraternity nearly 3 years ago when an alcohol-related hazing incident cost him his life. Now, his parents are determined to make sure it never happens again. This past January, the Timothy J. Piazza Center for Fraternity and Sorority Research and Reform opened at Penn State. The center's goal is to study and reform university Greek life.
What should they be doing to make a better man or a better woman and create better brotherhood or sisterhood? And those are the type of things that we're looking forward to seeing come out of the center.
We talked with the Piazzas about their mission. Tim's mom told us they want to see the effort spark change around the nation.
The larger goal is to get more and more schools to join in and then do research projects. One of the first ones I know they wanted to do was deferred recruiting, to study that and see whether it is helpful or not.
The center is gearing up to soon release a national scorecard designed to help students and families evaluate Greek organizations through a searchable database.
Really a report on all the organizations on campus and what violations they've had against their code of conduct, whether it be sexual assault or drinking or hazing.
The scorecard will also provide students and parents a chance to look at not only fraternities and sororities, but also groups not recognized by the university.
There are a lot of underground organizations, rogue organizations that are dangerous and people they don't know anything about them. There's no supervision of them.
Jim and Evelyn Piazza say they've seen positive changes happening at colleges across the nation, including hard alcohol bans, anti-hazing campaigns, and more. They hope the tragedy that struck their family will help others in the years to come.
Just one person does the right thing, they may be saving somebody's life, and that's really what we're trying to accomplish.
In State College, I'm Samantha Rank for the Center County Report.
The Piazza family will speak at Penn State next Sunday as part of their End Hazing Now program. The Groover family will also be there. Their son Max Groover died in a hazing-related incident at LSU in 2017.
Some parts of central Pennsylvania saw snow last night and this morning, and everyone is feeling the cold as a blast of winter-like air moves in. Let's check in with our weather anchor, Casey Rigner, outside with an update. Casey?
Thanks, Mitch. I can confirm that it's pretty cold out here. It's going to be breezy at times today, winds at 10 to 15 miles an hour with gusts up to 30. My crewmen right now are actually standing in the sun to stay cold. Reason being, we had this system move across the state last night. And what it did is bring some rain and snow showers from much of the state yesterday into this morning, even some snow showers lingering in parts of Pittsburgh. Right now, it is moving up the East Coast, right now centered over New England. And what it's going to do is bring some big changes. Colder weather is on the way over the next couple of days. So be prepared. Make sure you bundle up today and tomorrow if you have those plans outside or headed to class or work, whatever it may be. Stay warm. I'm trying to stay warm right now. I'm ready to come back into the studio, so I'm going to send it back to you guys at the anchor desk.
Thanks, Casey. In other news today, a Central PA hospital says it's found the source of a bacteria that killed 3 babies and sickened a total of 8. Geisinger Medical Center in Danville says the process it was using to prepare donor breast milk led to the deadly outbreak in the neonatal intensive care unit. The parents of one of the newborns has filed a lawsuit against Geisinger.
I would say that we did as much as we could, as quickly as we could have.
Geisinger has been sending very premature babies and some pregnant women to other hospitals as the investigation goes on.
Police are asking for the public's help involving a hit and run in State College. They say this vehicle was driving on Locust Lane on October 27th around 12:45 a.m. They say the driver failed to stop at a stop sign before turning onto Beaver Avenue, hitting another vehicle and then taking off. The car may have front end and passenger side damage. If you have any information, call the State College Police. And police are also looking for 2 suspects in a string of thefts. They say an unknown woman entered a training room at Mount Nittany Medical Center and removed wallets from 4 victims. Police say the woman, then accompanied by a man, used the stolen credit cards to make purchases at Walmart and Macy's in Center County. If you have any information that can help, you are asked to contact the police.
Penn State University spent almost $3 million more on legal costs and other expenses related to the Jerry Sandusky scandal during the last fiscal year. The university's annual audit report also showed Penn State paid about $100,000 to one or more people who claimed Sandusky assaulted them. The school has now spent $113 million in settlement costs to people who made abuse allegations against the former coach. Sandusky is due in court later this month for his resentencing. He's currently serving a 30 to 60-year sentence.
The State College Borough Council's deadline for accepting candidate interest for the mayor's job expired last night. Current Mayor Don Hunn won last week's election for magisterial district judge, and he plans to step down from the mayor's job next month. Borough Council couldn't agree on a guideline proposal for the selection process of the interim mayor because of disagreement over details, such as restricting Penn State's employers from the job or requiring experience in local government. Public meetings on potential candidates will be determined over the next several weeks, and interviews will be done before a final vote on December 16th.
People around Central PA marked Veterans Day with ceremonies and events. On Penn State's campus yesterday, the Student Veterans Organization hosted a ceremony at Old Main to honor those who have served their country. Students, veterans, and their family members attended the event, which included speeches and a gun salute.
We respect veterans and their sacrifice, the service that they gave this country. But ultimately, I think it's a celebration of peace. You know, peace between citizens, peace between brothers and sisters.
Penn State's Military Appreciation Week will wrap up with veterans honored at Saturday's football game at Beaver Stadium.
A new Student Veterans Center at Penn State will officially open with a ribbon-cutting ceremony this Friday. The $4 million center at the renovated Rittenauer building will be home to the Office of Veteran Programs. It'll be the center of services, support, and activities for Penn State's 400 student veterans at University Park and more than 5,000 across the state.
Because the veteran population is an adult learner population, and they learn a little differently and they interact a little differently. So having an area for them to congregate and also to kind of enjoy peer-to-peer mentoring and support from other students who've entered college before them that are of the same background and experiences really is something that resonates with the student veteran community.
The center will have a student veteran lounge, a study area, and multi-use rooms to provide space for veteran organizations, support groups, and programming. Construction is set to wrap up in the spring.
The first ever Center Film Festival drew lots of movie fans to Phillipsburg over the weekend. Reporter Jerome Taylor has the story.
Inside the historic Roland Theater in Phillipsburg, the inaugural Center County Film Festival brought together amateur and pro filmmakers and movie fans from around the area. The festival includes workshops and events for filmmakers to learn new skills and bridge generational gaps. Artistic director Pearl Gluck says the festival accomplished its major goal.
You know, the dream was to have different generations speak to each other, and it came true. Even the master classes that were intended for teens, people came of all ages and they wanted to be part of it.
Gluck says her favorite part of the festival was curating the films as it created multiple interpretations of the movies.
The art for me of curating, for me, is trying to find a conversation between films. And sometimes people pick up on that, and sometimes they find their own connections, which is a beautiful thing.
One of those films was Calling All Earthlings, about a Los Angeles cult.
That we're all inside of. The suppression of this information is the highest type of treason.
There's a lot of mystery about George Van Tassel.
Let's look at the evidence. It's there. Something was working.
We've got friends and neighbors out there.
One of the more unique ways to further a conversation between generations, Pennsylvania State Representative Scott Coughlin impersonating Elvis with local kids at the festival's closing ceremony. Gluck wants to make sure everyone involved knows that this is just the beginning for the Center County Film Festival.
Right away, we'll just make sure that everyone realizes they're not part of something that just ends, that this is really just the beginning. So we're going to go ahead and start building on all this amazing energy that was created.
In Phillipsburg, I'm Jerome Taylor for the Center County Report.
Pearl Gluck says they hope to host the second festival in October of next year.
Will this cold weather stick around all week? Casey is back in a few minutes with the 7-day forecast.
And a magical season comes to a crushing end for a local high school sports team. Also coming up, an on-campus celebrity visit brought music and meaning for Penn State students. We have that story after the break.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Get caught buzz driving, and you could do some hard time.
Craig, knock it off.
Sorry, Mom. It could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. And that could set you back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
I can't change, even if I try, even if I wanted to.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape.
It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent.
We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're going to take action with the I.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
A State College Minute Mart is open after a major renovation project. The Nittany Minute Mart on the corner of West College Avenue and North Atherton Street reopened last week. The store now offers beer and wine sales. After applying for a liquor license in June, they had plans to turn their soda cave into a walk-in beer cave. They now offer more than 100 kinds of beer, along with a wine selection and alcoholic slushies.
A music celebrity's visit to Penn State drew plenty of fans, but not because he was doing a concert. His focus was entirely different. Reporter Emerald Baptiste explains.
The Paul Robeson Cultural Center is known for uniting students from diverse backgrounds and making them into one big community. The PRCC hosted their 11th annual Stoop event in Alumni Hall on Penn State campus Thursday night. The Stoop is an event that allows students to take a break from their normal lives and personal issues to show off their talents.
The Stoop is a chance for students to come all around to do what they need to do best.
Rapper Wale came to Penn State to speak to students about the importance of mental health. He explains how depression in the Black community tends to go unnoticed by family members.
Nobody in your family want to hear that you're sad or nothing like that. Like, we ain't doing that right here. We here to heal each other as people of color.
While hundreds of students were enjoying this event, one student connected with the words from Wale and explained how her father's health caused her depression in her freshman year.
I kind of just kept things internally and was sinking in my own thoughts, which is why mental health is important to understand, because you have to learn how to talk to people.
Jenny Sack, the assistant director of the PRCC, speaks on the importance of the event.
At this Stoop, we really want to emphasize on the different barriers and challenges that students face, whether in their personal life, in the classroom, or in the State College community.
This event emphasized the importance of slowing down and focusing on mental health. In University Park, I'm Emerald Baptiste for the Center County Report.
Thanks again for joining us, everyone. I'm Casey Rigner with your forecast. Here's a system that I mentioned just a few moments ago that brought some rain and snow showers for much of the state yesterday, which is also going to bring much colder temperatures over the next couple of days. Still some clouds lingering here in Happy Valley. Not much sunshine is filtering in through. 34 degrees right now. Winds are out of the northwest at 14 miles an hour, so it's feeling about 10 degrees cooler due to that wind chill. Across the rest of the region, temperatures still in those upper 20s and low 30s for most of the state, and that's going to hold true for the rest of Pennsylvania as well. No one's breaking the mid 30s as of right now. Now, I want to mention this. We kind of have an Arctic blast going on right now, and what that means is we have a bunch of cold air being brought in from the north, even some record-setting temperatures across much of the country over the next couple of days. Futurecast, once again, not much to talk about. We just have some lake effect action for northwestern Pennsylvania, as well as areas near Johnstown later on this evening. Other than that, we are going to be dry over the next several days, so keep your fingers crossed, but you will have to bundle up. Today, it is going to be in the low 30s, 32 is our high, breezy, chilly at times, gusts up to 30 miles an hour possible. Tonight, make sure you bundle up once again, crank that heat because we will be in the upper teens. Tonight, 25-mile-an-hour gusts, those winds are still out of the northwest. Tomorrow, not much is going to change, but we will be more sunny, but don't let that fool you. Wind chills will be in the 20s as well tomorrow. Winds will then be out of the west. The next 7 days, I mentioned, we're not really worrying about much precipitation. Thankfully, just some cooler temperatures, so make sure you bundle up for the rest of this week. And then on Saturday for the game, you may want to bring a jacket or a coat with you, blanket, maybe to stay warm. Other than that, bundle up this week. It's going to be cold.
Thanks, Casey.
It's too cold for me. We're going to send it over to Will Desautels over with sports.
It was a busy weekend in sports. Penn State football lost its first game of the year, while basketball had non-conference matchups. We'll also show you highlights from Penn State hockey series against Michigan State and tell you what happened with soccer in their tournament matchups. Sports is next.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. And as soon as I start to make my breakfast, Hamilton is right there. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. I mean, look at this little face. How could you not love him?
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
I'm Will Desautels with sports. Both Penn State soccer teams are enjoying great seasons. They played in the Big Ten men's and women's tournaments over the weekend. Reporter Mitch Stewart was at Jeffrey Field for the men's match.
The 13th ranked Nittany Lions men's soccer team beat Wisconsin 3-0 in Big Ten quarterfinal action on Sunday. The Badgers kept the game close in the first half as the teams headed into the break deadlocked at 0.
I think we're just thinking about trying to get a ring and maybe 2. Hopefully 2. I think that's what we're looking forward to.
Penn State's offense got rolling in the second half as all 3 of their strikers found the back of the net. Christian Slode broke the scoreless draw with a close-range finish off a Liam Butts cross in the 58th minute.
And I said to them before the game, like, we have to handle whatever the game brings us. And that could be, going a goal up or goal behind or, getting frustrated at times with Wisconsin's approach in terms of them, kind of trying to slow the game down. And I thought we handled that really well.
A few minutes later, Butt got himself onto the score sheet with a header off of a beautiful feed from Seth Kuhn. A game-sealing finish by Josh DeBora capped the scoring for the Nittany Lions. With Sunday's 3-0 win, Penn State men's soccer advances to the Big Ten tournament semifinals, where they'll take on Michigan on Friday. That will be for a chance to play in the Big Ten tournament championship game on Sunday afternoon. Meanwhile, the Penn State women's team rallied from behind to beat ranked Michigan 2-1 in the Big Ten championship game.
I've said this about all of our programs at Penn State in the past. It's so motivating to be here at Penn State among so many incredible programs and coaches, student athletes, administrators, staff members. This is a really special place, and the family atmosphere, we pull for each other.
In University Park, I'm Mitch Stewart for the Center County Report.
The Penn State men's team will face Michigan on Friday at Maryland in the tournament semifinals, while the women's team will host Stony Brook in the first round of the NCAA tournament Friday night at Jeffrey Field. Penn State football is spending this week regrouping after watching its unbeaten season come to an end at Minnesota. Running back Journey Brown rushed for a career-high 124 yards, but quarterback Sean Clifford threw 3 interceptions, and Penn State's top 5 ranked defense allowed a season high in points and total yards. The Gophers won 31-26 on Saturday. The Nittany Lions will look to bounce back against Indiana this weekend at Beaver Stadium. Kickoff is at noon. The State High Little Lions are moving on in the football postseason after beating Erie McDowell 42-21 on a snowy Friday evening in Erie. Up next, they'll take on Delaware Valley and Milford. The Little Lions have beaten Delaware Valley in the PIAA Class 6A first round in each of the last 2 years. Meanwhile, the State High girls volleyball team's unbeaten season came to a crushing end over the weekend. But as Maria Coyne reports, this season will be a memorable one for many reasons.
We play as a team, we win as a team, we lose as a team, we do everything as a team. The results will be the results.
That's been the mindset all season for Coach Chad Waite and his State High girls volleyball team. When we caught up with them at practice a few days ago, they were riding high into the state quarterfinals and unbeaten at 19-0. Senior Kate Lahendra was confident and looking ahead to the possibilities.
With the season that we've had and the season that we'll continue to have, it's been like a good last season, and I'm excited to see where it goes.
Waite reminds the girls that teamwork drives the most successful teams.
I've been a big stickler this year on no one's talent supersedes the team. And I think they bought into that, and I think everybody agrees that, again, I go back to we will win or lose as a team.
Their motto all season has been whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes this year. It was a new year and we had a small senior class, but we knew let's just put 100% in and see where it takes us.
Whatever it takes may be the motto for the season, but for the seniors on this team, it is their last chance to leave it all on the floor.
They know this is getting towards the end. I think that's in the back of everyone's mind, especially the older girls. They know this is it.
And for the Lady Little Lions, Saturday was it. They lost to North Allegheny and the season came to a heartbreaking end. This squad ended 19-1, a life lesson that the final hurdles can be the toughest. In State College, I'm Maria Coyne for the Center County Report.
North Allegheny will compete in the state semifinals against Hempfield tonight. Penn State men's basketball moved to 2-0 over the weekend as the Nittany Lions beat Wagner 91-64 at the BJC. Penn State got out to a commanding lead early and allowed for coach Pat Chambers to go deeper into his bench than usual. Freshman Seth Lundy looked good in his second collegiate game, scoring 12 points, and he was one of 5 players in double figures for Penn State. The Lady Lions were also in action over the weekend, but they came up short against Rider, losing 78-70. Penn State had a hard time getting anything to work on offense and missed 11 free throws during the game, including 5 in the fourth quarter. Penn State men's hockey earned the split coming out of a weekend series against Michigan State. Michigan State goaltender John Letheman stopped all 48 of Penn State's shot attempts on Friday night, and Patrick Kodorenko's game-winning goal in the second period led the Spartans to a 2-0 win. The Nittany Lions came back on Saturday, though, beating the Spartans 6-4, with all 6 goals coming from a different player. Penn State dropped 2 spots to number 8 in the latest rankings. That's all for sports. Now back to you guys at the anchor desk.
Thanks, Will. Coming up next, a local emergency service agency receives a statewide award for its commitment to keeping our community safe. That's after the break.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised.
Oh, God, now here comes this. It's just like the medical terminology is really funky. Like
practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
I rescued Toast from a shelter in 2011. I love Toast because she's a lazy diva. Toast does whatever she wants, obviously. She's sleeping right now. She's an epic snuggler. She's so comforting. She's so loving. Toast makes me laugh. When I walked into the shelter, I knew right then that she was special.
Okay, Simon, what do people wear?
Clothes.
That's right. So it's important to learn how to dress yourself. Here's how it's done. Shirt, underwear, pants, socks, shoes. Underwear, always first, name tag on the back. Then pants and shirt. Go ahead and put this on. Now with the shirt, you want to make sure the first button's right or you have to start all over again, okay? Socks left on left, right on right. Tying the shoes, we're going to take the laces, we're going to cross them over, we're going to turn around where the bunny goes down in the hole, pull it tight, and bunny ears. Got it?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
a nice honor for a local organization. Center LifeLink EMS is one of 145 EMS agencies in the state to receive the Pennsylvania Cares Award. The honor recognizes Center LifeLink's commitment to saving lives by collecting out-of-the-hospital cardiac arrest data to help improve current programs in emergency care for patients in the community. Pennsylvania Cares is a partner of the Cardiac Arrest Registry. The registry allows communities to track bystander and 911 response. Center LifeLink's mission is to improve out-of-the-hospital cardiac arrest survival rates.
That's all for today's newscast. You can find more of our stories on our website, centercountyreport.com.
And you can follow us anytime for our breaking news on our Twitter feed. That's at Center County REP, or on our Facebook page. We also have a Center County Report Instagram. Join us for our next newscast on Friday. Have a good day.
Don't ignore the subtext. It's on us to intervene in sexual assault. Because we can. Take the pledge at itsonus.org.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
Was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. And as soon as I start to make my breakfast, Hamilton is right there. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. I mean, look at this little face. How do you not love him?
Timothy Piazza was rushing the Beta Theta Pi fraternity nearly 3 years ago when an alcohol